Before we begin this episode, I'd like to let you all know that during the editing, I've noticed some technical difficulties on my part in terms of the glitching, so we captioned the best that we can for that. And I know this has happened a few times in the past, but this episode has taken it to a whole new level, so bear with us when there's some glitching going on, and I apologize for that. Also, I would like to say for you guys to read the disclaimer, which pretty much says that, we're not here to bash on anybody or anything when it comes to these stores that we mention. It's really for humorous purposes, so don't take it as us bashing on certain stores. It was really for humorous purposes. So, anyways, enjoy the podcast, everyone. Hello, and welcome to episode 21 of the DomJake podcast. Damn, this episode's old enough to drink. Anyways, all jokes aside, my name is Dominic.
And I'm Jake.
So, I doubt there's anyone watching that hasn't been to a brick-and-mortar retail store. I know, I was born when, there was still the main types of stores. So was my co-host here. Well, online shopping was still in its infancy at the time. And I started noticing a pattern in high school. And based on the observation I had, most mega stores that we had, Toys R Us, we still have Best Buy, but a lot of those dedicated mega stores have started shutting down due to one thing or another, leveraged buyouts. The stores that we're going to be mentioning on later in this episode, embezzlement, the list goes on. And from what I've seen, the only type of brick and mortar stores that have been kind of surviving this online evolution is department stores. Well, except for Kmart, they're KO'd. And Ames, that's gone. I'm sure nobody remembers that because we were little when that shut down. Caldor's is gone, so is Bradley's. But the question is, why are these types of stores, of all other stores, the only ones that are around? Could it be that, it's a one-stop shop, you can just get what you need there? Or is it just cheaper, which we'll be discussing later on?
Or a third possibility. The third possibility is just your family went there before you and so on and so forth. So it's I went there as a kid, so I'm just going to go there as long as I can. And, well, with a lot of the times, chances are the ones that we might mention a little bit later started out that way, where it's oh yeah, I went there. Let's take you there too, little kid. Right?
Yeah. You want to go to this store? Because I went there when I was your age. Let's go.
Of course, there are other factors too that might factor into it, maybe you once were in California and there is you're used to one different type of store, right? But then you move to the middle of Texas and suddenly that store that you're used to just isn't there. So you find something new, something different. There's that factor too.
Oh yeah, let's not forget that there's regional chains.
Regional, yep. I know for a fact that in the northeastern part of the state, there isn't really that many Winn-Dixies or Piggly Wigglies, right? I believe the thing that's up north there is something like Right Shop or something like
Right Shop.
ShopRite, I think, actually. I just looked it up. There's ShopRite there, and looking at this website here, I also see Stop and Shop is a thing that's up north there. But yeah, things like that might be a factor into it as well, right? Those regional different different ones. Maybe in, I don't know, Washington State, there might be a different thing than Florida, than Maine, than the southern tip of California, right? Um, it
Hmm.
just depends on things like that too. So,
Maybe those like CEOs, they want a unique experience to this certain region of the country, so they don't want to branch out.
right. I mean, or also a possibility here, which I think is actually more likely, is all of the regional ones might be owned by the same parent company. And it's like, well, ShopRite is the same owner as, I don't know, Piggly Wiggly down there. I don't think
Uh,
that's the case, but
eh,
maybe.
there's brands like that.
Right, like I think Coca-Cola and Pepsi pretty much own every single soft drink that's in that aisle. I
Like a
think
little,
it's just different names, right? Like Sprite is a Coca-Cola thing, right? And then
yep.
Fanta is like a Pepsi thing, I think.
I think Fanta is Coke and Crush is Pepsi.
Oh yeah, I probably mismatched that a little bit. Maybe you're right about that. Maybe it is
They all
crushed.
mix. Yep,
Yeah.
they all mix like
Hey,
the syrup in the. But
yeah, that's something that sodas are great with, right? Mixing them up, right?
yep,
Yeah, you have that thing in the gas stations where you just fill up every single thing and you down it right there.
it's like yeah, pretty much. Sprite's Coke, Starry, which
But
yeah, again we had Sierra Mist and now it's Starry. That's Pepsi. We once
mm,
had a mount. We did once have like a Mountain Dew, like a Coca-Cola equivalent of Mountain Dew called Surge, which
mm.
was in stores literally a couple of years ago. But that's a topic for another video.
Actually, it could be a topic for a different video, right? Uh, but yeah, a lot of the very famous companies are the ones who pretty much rule the aisle there, right? You'll
Hmm.
look at that aisle, and if you look really hard, you might be able to find like Craig's Cola or something, right? Like just a small company that might be made only in New York, so only New York stores might carry Craig's Cola or something like that. So it's pretty hard to find the original ones because I would even bet that if you get like the store brand version of something, they might be packaged in the same place that the other ones are. So
Hmm.
I
It ain't
wouldn't be able to
Doctor.
tell you.
It ain't Dr. Pepper. It's Dr. Bob.
But right, yeah. Or Dr. Pep, right?
Dr. Pep. Joe's
Dr. Salt, Surgeon Pepper,
Nurse Salt.
Nurse Paprika.
All right. Yeah. Dr. Oregano. Okay. Yep. We're
One,
good.
one, one last thing. General practitioner, cilantro. Okay, there we go.
Perfect. Uh,
But yeah, basically, if you go down any aisle like that, it's a big chance that it's all owned by the same people. Um, it could be the same situation with those regional chains where it's like all of them are just owned by the same parent company, and it's just a big old monopoly, like the good old Parker Brothers taught us.
yeah. See, that's one of those factors, but yeah, yeah, grocery stores, you're gonna see this, or here's another fast food example, even though they're literally practically the same thing. Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. I think one's like kind of more on the western side than the eastern side. They're literally the same place.
Yeah, that's why whenever people say it, they say like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to Carl's Jr. Hardee's." It's
It's weird, but yeah. So I guess we can talk about our personal experiences, like going to these places, like
oh
and
yeah,
grocery shopping.
not only going to these places, some of us might have had a little bit of experience in them for a little bit, right?
You remember when you were sitting up on the little seat on the cart?
Oh well, yeah, but that's not what I was referring to. But yeah, I've been in the child seat,
Mm-hmm.
grabbing every single candy that might have came my way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I've experienced going to the. I'm sure, literally, like I said at the beginning, pretty much everybody knows, like going to the stores, like, because not everything's online.
Mm, I'm gonna say that a lot of people know it, but I'm still gonna say that there are some people who don't know what it's like to actually go to a store. Um, just based off of the fact that some people are shoot what is the word for it? Let's just say more prone to get sick, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so whenever anything like that happens, they might be more infectious, right? They might be more prone to get sick from these places, so they just stay inside because they are sick.
Another reason why probably they would just like I would just order my groceries and just pick them up there.
Immunocompromised. That's it. That's the phrase.
Compromise, yeah. So, as just like everyone watching and just like my co-host, I think I've also had my experiences in the store, just like my co-host has experiences in the store. I will talk about one thing I will talk about is like one of my earliest memories being in a grocery store, and I'm not gonna list any of the stores just be for like I know these stores have changed over the years, although they still have the same core store that you've gone in. I am really not adding much other than just saying the same thing.
Yeah, go on. You could. I believe in you.
Uh, I just remember just observing my mom just picking up groceries while I'm just sitting on the high seat. And
Mm.
then, or if I wanted a DVD, I would just like cry for it or scream for it.
Oh, you were one of those children.
Well, okay, screaming's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, I would want one of those stores that I didn't like, and I made it really clear I did not want to go in the store.
Mm. Because you probably laid down while your mom's dragging you from the foot, right?
Eh, I guess so. But yep,
Going to Claire's.
yep, yep, that was yep. When I was a toddler, I put my foot down. Did not want to go in.
In that scenario, you're putting your foot up, right, and your head down.
I guess so. Yep.
Just imagining your mom just dragging a small you, just from the foot,
Oh my god. Yeah.
and then like every single bump that you come across, like you just get oof, oof.
I'm just I'm just thinking. It's like they're just getting dragged by the 2 feet, and they're like they want something bad.
Oh my God. And then like at the mall, like if you're going up the stairs, just
Or just the yeah, but
but that was 15 years ago. That was when children can get a little licking every now and then, right?
yeah, back when it was acceptable. That
Jeez, for legal reasons, we do not condone these acts of
do
violence.
not do not actually do that. Do not.
Uh, the only time you could hit your kid is in Minecraft, right?
Yeah, only in Minecraft, only
Only in
in video.
Minecraft,
Keep it to video games, not real life.
right? But yeah, I've definitely had my experience with the, oh, I don't want to shop right now, or oh, I want something that's in this store. Typically, it was whenever we were like birthday or Christmas shopping for somebody else, and it's like, why are you getting this for them? I'm right here, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Um,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
curious about something else, retail related, or I guess retail-ated. Um,
Yeah.
have you any experience in retail as an employee?
Recently, like a couple months ago, I did for 1 month, which I mean,
Ah,
still consider it retail because it's still a store, but to read
right.
up your prescriptions or like
Yeah,
get,
it's retail because because people can buy other things other than the prescriptions, right?
It's not. I mean, I know it's not like your local Walmart, but it's still a store.
I mean, yeah, at the local Walmart, you could even get your prescriptions filled.
But yeah, but it was not really
What is
meant
it?
for that. So I'm not gonna. Yeah, I
What
did
is it?
that.
What is it that you did there without like
I
naming the place?
I was pretty much most of the time I checked for outdates. Very rarely very rarely I would stock some things and put them in the right place. Which I guess I
Mm,
can now see why employees would get annoyed if you put the product in the wrong section.
yeah, you only did a month of it.
I did, so I was like, yeah, I was a kid. I guess I didn't give a about it, but hey, now I do. But as I was saying, it's like so really I'd have to check for outdates for this amount of time before it has to go. And what was annoying, what kind of was bothering me is like, why aren't they bringing these items to people who need the food instead of
Yeah,
reason with them? So you just had to do what they you had to do.
yeah. Unfortunately, that is the case. But whenever whenever people know that there's like a store that throws away actual like food things, sometimes this could be frowned upon in some circles, but others it's completely fine. People dumpster dive, right? And they will take the unopened can of soup that hasn't been expired too long, or maybe isn't even expired yet, and it might be like 3 days
Even then, it's
past
like
its
it's not
prime.
gonna. Depending on what it is, it's not gonna magically go bad. It just means they can't sell it at that.
Yeah, I mean, like there are definitely some things that you shouldn't eat past their prime or whatever, unless if you like actually stored it properly. Like if you're keeping meat in a refrigerator, not like frozen or not like wrapped up or whatever, if you're keeping meat like a good old steak or something, and that's past its prime, it'll start smelling like it'll be bad, right? It's
Then
actually bad. But something like a Campbell soup might be like acceptable, a little past its prime.
it'll be fine. The soup is okay, but yeah, meats, throw it out.
Dairies, same sort of thing. Eggs, God, eggs.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to deal with the smell for that. Or milk, that's gotten old.
Right. So like there definitely are things that you shouldn't do and stuff like that. Produce too, like if you have just, an old apple or whatever that it'll start attracting bugs and stuff like that. Just not a good time. But yeah, there are definitely some times where you really should obey those dates. But there are definitely some times where it's like, are you just putting this date on here because the government tells you to? Do these actually expire or go bad or whatever? But um,
We're
I
not
will
here
say
to.
some. I will say something though. Something that some of the more regional chains, I guess, would do this a little bit more. But if there's like a farm that's close by, or like a community center, or like a church or something, a food drive close by, there are times where they will do the okay, we're donating this to you for I don't know the legal background behind that, but they do sometimes do like donations, or they will still sell it, but maybe at a very, very, very low price. So then, like, farmers can feed their pigs or something because pigs eat anything.
I better protect my cat then. I'm just joking, but yeah, they'll eat. I guess they'll just eat whatever they see.
But yeah, I also have experience, I guess, in a position of retail importance, if you want to call it that. Right, chum? The place, it's been like over a year or something since I was fired, right?
I mean,
Um, so,
is it
so I
fire a bit
don't
of an
think
overstatement?
it's actually not an overstatement. It's just the reason it happened was I just ended up being scammed, and it's just store policy. Like they had to let me go because it was past a certain amount. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I got scammed at the register, and it was $200, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got 200 out of me. Well, actually, technically 180, but they rounded up. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, I didn't actually do 200, but they rounded up. So what do I do? Um, but yeah, before that, it was pretty much a decent thing. I don't think I'm under NDA. Um, and I know for a fact that there are these locations in, I believe, half of the states, not just a small area. So you know what? I'm gonna name drop it.
Because I'm sure this is a. I mean, I haven't researched it, but is it a? It's kind of
Oh,
like
it's
one of the.
great.
So it's one of those widespread chains that are around the whole country. I'm assuming.
It's not around the whole country. It's not as far spread as like say Walmart or Target, but it's in half of the states at least. So let's see. I'm not gonna give that location that amount, but there are at least in the time that I was fired, there were
Mm-hmm.
439 locations open, I think. I think.
Hmm.
Um, of course, it's probably a little bit more than that now, but um, that was where I was for like 2 years until they fired me, getting scammed. And I'll straight up tell you this. Not that we get a lot of listeners, but the few listeners that we do, I believe they know that there is a location near us. The password to the break room in every location I've been told. Of course, take that with a grain of salt, but I believe they have the same one everywhere. All right, write this down, everyone. And granted, we might have to edit this if we get really big, and they might threaten to sue us if we don't edit it out or delete the segment. But all right, pen and paper ready. The password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should get you into any break room if you want to cause havoc.
Or oh wow. Ah.
Genuinely, I, I I'd still know where the break room is if you want. I could take you there.
Okay, let's go.
Uh, uh, the rest of this podcast is going to be recorded in the break room.
Yep. I'm just doing. Oh no. I can just see some that one. I can just see somebody like in the comments.
Straight up, people have like the employees sometimes have left the break room door open a little bit, maybe because they just wanted to wrap some things up, or maybe it was hot or something, or maybe they just didn't want to punch in the code every single time, so like they would leave the door open a little bit, and it's like moths or flies, right? It's like insects. Customers will just come straight into the break room and they will just use the microwave or something that's there.
Mm.
Luckily, I haven't walked in on like a customer like that, but I've heard stories.
Like those horror stories of torture.
Who stole my iced tea? It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Let's review the security footage. Oh, it was this random person that just crawled in.
I can only imagine.
If you really want to, I guess, have a break from being a customer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I repeat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mm. Good to know.
I don't know if you'll be banned from the store though if you're caught or something, and maybe because let me tell you this one. So I was able to accept returns, and sometimes I would ask, manager's approval, right? Like, oh, is this okay? Is this condition okay to return? We pretty much returned anything that wasn't like completely gone, right? Like, if somebody ate a chocolate bar fully and expected a return, we'd say, screw you. go away. But like if they slightly opened it, we could have seen them slightly open it, but they say, "Oh, I must have grabbed one that was slightly open. Can I, or something?" We'd be like, oh, "Okay, sure, yeah." Betting. I'm going on like a tirade here, but this is going to be my last, I guess, customer service, like I guess talk, unless if we have another episode that's really dedicated to customer service. But um,
Again, probably be a topic for another video.
right, because I definitely have some Karen stories, but I'm not going to get into that. We did accept a return that she was a sweet lady, but we could tell that she was a smoker, right? It smelled, it reeked. She put it on her bed probably for like a day or two just to kind of
Mm-hmm.
test it out, and she found out that it wasn't the right fit. We took it back because, like, I mean, we want everyone to feel as great as they can. We took it back, but immediately we had to, they call it MOS it, but like pretty much mark it off of the inventory because it was, which it wasn't really damaged, it just smelled bad, which we're not going to put it back on the shelf if it's really rank, right? But
So
yeah,
store policy, you can't just put it on the shelf. It's that bad.
it shouldn't have gone on the shelf again. Maybe it would be different if she just had like a slightly flowery perfume smell on it. Maybe that's different because it actually smells better. But for the full return, the full refund, um, she still had the receipt and it was within 30 days. So it wasn't store credit, but um, she was sweet. Just unfortunately, she didn't smell sweet.
The opposite of that.
Tends to be the case, right? The people who are super Axe body spray heavy might be like, you know,
Super ass.
maybe
But
sometimes.
yep, seen at least by now heard plenty of Karen stories at all these places.
Right. And you know what? We'll do the Karens, our experiences with them in a future episode. We're not going to do that right now.
Nope.
Um, Dom, take away then, I guess, the actual facts.
So, who here has ever been to a Target? I would say most of you.
To a Target
Oh, you have?
where there's
Cool.
one.
Cool. But
Yeah,
guess what? We're gonna be
the commercial, the commercials where they freaking painted a dog's eye like a red target. Jeez.
oh god. I'm gonna be happy about that. So, anyways, kids, we're gonna be talking about Target throughout the years.
Hmm.
Woohoo! So, all the way back to 1960 when the Dayton Company had plans for a new discount store. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Yes, it is. All right, let's fast forward to 2 years in 1962, and the name was thought of by Stu Wittis. I don't even interesting name here, as he was tasked to come up with a name for a new retail store and also came up with the logo. I wonder why he came up with the logo. As if the name sounds like what it is. Specific on May 1st, Target opened its first store in Roseville, Minnesota. They definitely didn't expand, just like as like mom and pop, and if it's that good, they'll franchise. But it was a store to combine most features of other department stores. And at the end of that year, 3 more locations were opened throughout Minnesota. And Target opened its
Nice.
first distribution center in Fridley. Did you have something to say?
Oh, I just said nice because he said 1969.
Oh yeah, Disco era. These and Target started expanding, becoming a national retailer. And in 1971, a Target store in the Denver area was the first to be accessible to guests within wheelchairs. mid-70s, the stores started to look more like the stores we know of today, with the exception of the layout, the lights when we were kids.
Arcade lights and maybe like indoor mini golf and stuff like that.
Or it's good now, but just it's a generational thing. At this point, Target had its third president by the name of Stephen L.
Don't make him angry. You'll piss her off.
You don't. Oh no. So, anyways, with all respect to him, obviously, but in 1975,
Right.
in 1975, Target started using planograms as a way to make the shopping experience more consistent, which I think they used for stocking stuff. I think it's a little diagram that, the soda that you see like in a public place that has like a logo on it. You know, on the side, like in the end caps where you pick up the soda. Usually there's a little diagram that's showing the bottles, where to put them. I think that if please tell me in the comments, but I think that's what they are.
You might not need to wait that long. You continue reading and I'll see what I got.
Target 1979, Target achieved $1 million.
Say I got a definition of planogram.
Planograms.
Yeah, it's a diagram of model that indicates the placement of retail products of shelves in order to maximize sales. So it's pretty much like a store layout chart that will like tell you, okay, this square, this aisle, like to maximize sales, this area has to always be candy, or this area always has to be where the milk is, or something like that, right? So it's pretty much just a blueprint that has the shell labeled, I guess.
I see.
Is it get that? Sorry, continue.
All right, let me get into the what I would call like the home video era. Let's out there. The 80s in Target by that point started undergoing a few changes in terms of the look of the store, the color scheme, the floors, and the walls. And the store focusing on fashion lifestyle. Yep, like a mannequin in a store. The stores installed computers for network communication. Their involvement in the company. Isn't that sad? No. In 1984, Target introduced their first own clothing brand, which is
what it was.
I literally remember after I did my research.
Some research you did.
And I busted my ass doing it, but because it's so much information. But
don't worry.
But by 1985, by then they started utilizing email. You've got mail. Not that we're not that far yet.
It's the brand. It's their first brand.
That's the one.
MERONA, and then brand.
Morona. But I already said that. In 1986, they were the first to use like in-store advertising via video networks. Yep. Bye.
Stop. Copyright strike.
to our research before this video drags on longer. By 1990, Target
Oh,
started looking more and more like the
I
stores
was
of
going to
today.
continue. Target started looking more
And more like the stores of today. But
in
yeah, they
1994. They introduced their slogan: "Expect more pay."
less. Expect more, pay less. That's their slogan.
Yeah, shit. Okay.
Yes, it's been a blast. In 1995, they introduced store credit cards. Don't get them confused for gift cards. They introduced store credit cards, and that same year they opened their first superstore, which I don't think. Wow, I don't know anybody who's ever been to a super Target, but I've never been to one. I know there's people that have Walmart super centers that have a grocery store section, but eh. So 1999, we'll party like it is that year. In 1999, this was kind of where the internet started going crazy. And when it comes to that, Target launched their first website in 1999, as well as their iconic mascot, Bullseye the dog. Not suing the name.
Well, it's not a horse, so I think they're fine.
Yep, as long as they're not using the horse. And yep. Also, okay, back to what I said about the credit cards, but now is at this point where they started launching their own gift cards. And in the same year, after opening plenty of super targets, Starbucks popping up inside the stores,
Hmm.
which yeah, I know. Yep, Target and Starbucks do have a history. Who remembers Pizza Hut inside a no, Target?
I remember inside a Starbucks, I got pizza and coffee.
Oh yeah. What's Nothing goes better with pizza than coffee. But
You say that, and it might actually be a banger.
maybe. Yeah, I might have made something cool.
Which
So,
leads us to our next segment, Taste
which,
Check. No, just kidding.
yeah. So I guess here's where we enter the picture. The 2000s, which was another for Target, as not only it's a turn for the millennium, so the amount of stores made to the thousands by 2000, marking their territory. They got their target. So during the same year, they opened their first pop-up store, which I honestly have never even heard of until I did this research. So forward to 4 years later, in 2005, Target a pharmacy concept called ClearRx, which is, I guess this is like their version of like their pharmacy, their kind of brand of pharmacy.
Shout outs, shout outs to Charmex.
Oh yeah, I remember that dude.
I'm doing a lot of things.
I think he quit and now he's like doing a real job.
Yeah,
It's good for him though. But now
yeah.
let's go to 2006. Has designed their own original shopping cart that I'm sure, which is an iconic shopping cart that we all know today, and it's still being used. So, seen it. In that same year, they became the first retailer to sell USDA certified organic produce. So you don't want those pesticides? Go right down to Target, which then it becomes more pricey because they have to get that stamp. Yep,
Just because they're the first retailer to do it doesn't mean they're the only one.
I know. No. Not definitely not. Don't
Target's
quote.
the
Don't
only
take it.
place that has
No, first.
cleanliness.
No, it said they're the first. Doesn't mean they're the only place. No, it says it's the first place to do it. No, they really didn't say that. But they no more and more places start doing that.
Right.
So let's go to 2008. Like Target started selling reusable bags, which you yeah. So that same year, they opened their first food distribution center in Lake City, Florida. Shout out to the Floridians. So we follow Target's website that launched in 1999. Let's fast forward 10 years later, 2009. They launched their first mobile app. Like we first established the internet, now we're doing mobile. Target is also pretty quick for that. They also expanded their fresh produce offerings that same year because hey, we need to cut down on the junk food. So 2000s it gets followed to the 2010s, and as time goes on, things become more digital. And well, besides which we'll mention later on, that launched a recycling program where customers dump their recycling in each designated can. Which hey, I remember seeing like these recycling machines, and every time I
Tho-
go,
Those were those are machines though. Like I remember hearing stories about my parents in their retail position where like they had to actually count, like they counted the cans and stuff like that. So pretty much they had a designated like two employees to basically be those machines, right? They would count them, kind of say, oh, how much cans you returned, and here's how much money the store owes you now because you returned things to us.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's talking about like the machines or if Target just started to do like throw people at it, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
I assume it might be the actual the units instead of people, but I can't tell just based off of that sentence.
Yeah. We have seen like, oh, this is where the cans go, this is where the bottles go. Yep, we all get that. Which marks Target's 50th anniversary. Which
Yay!
yay, and now it's already 60 years now. Damn, this is
Ew.
old. Yeah. 2013. All right. So remember when I said like things are going digital? Well,
Yes.
Target first digital coupon app called Cartwheel, which is now called Target Circle.
Yeah, Target Circle makes more sense. What the frick does cartwheel mean?
Well, means you're literally risking breaking your arms for exercise. Same year, they also introduced store pickup and shipping from home. So it's like kind of like you order your, I don't know, it's like you order it and they ship your stuff to the house. Which Target's, Target's a big company, but they also attempted to expand in Canada and only opened 124 stores there, in which didn't really last that long. It only was like 2 years. In 2015, they just closed all the stores there because I don't know. I really forgot why, but I remember hearing about that.
They just went they just went lasting long, eh?
Yeah, yeah,
They weren't lasting long.
yeah.
Eh?
19 also marks the year of the passing of the original president of Target, Douglas
What?
J. Dayton.
Oh no, that's a date to remember.
Yeah, no disrespect to Douglas, but yeah, that will be a day to remember. Well, peace, Douglas. And go to 2014 when Target another CEO. His name is Brian Cornell. And like all companies, they need a new CEO at some point. Now let's go to 2015. I guess for a while, Target had something called Red Card, and they started utilizing something called chip and pin technology, which made using the card easier by installing more payment terminals, which accepted all chip-enabled cards. That same year was also a big year for Target as, get this, acquired CVS Pharmacy, and not still go to a standalone CVS, but you can also go to a pharmacy inside Target. How crazy is that?
Very, I know that.
Prescriptions, but you can also go pick up whatever groceries you want to get. That same year, they rebranded their $1 section as Bullseye's Playground.
Their discounts and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a great section.
Mm-hmm. It is. Now we're going to 2017. Or remodeled big time and got the modern treatment in terms of services and design. It's like the same year, Target introduced 5 new owned brands such as A New Day, Goodfellow and Co. Island. Sounds like a Mario level. Joy Project 62.
Which sounds like
Here.
that sounds like a
Project 62. Maybe that's something they would have introduced next year because the store will be that old by that point. Yeah. All right. 2018. It was I think they have finally reached all 50 states to have their stores take place. And they opened their first store
all
in Vermont.
50 states.
Yep, Vermont had their first Target. And by that point, all 50 states had a Target. So how could you miss it at this point? 19, Target started a concept of a section, and Macy's has their Toys R Us now. And they also introduced another brand called Good and Gather, which is a line of products free of anything artificial. Oof, we're going to get to the following year, which we don't need to talk about that since we already kind of did in a different episode. Which it's not very little, but it's big. It's a pandemic, and Target helped keep not safe, but customers to safe too.
We said Target safety.
Yes, we want that safety. All right.
Target.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. 2021, Target introduced a sustainability strategy called Target Forward, which I really I'm still kind of wondering about that. In that same year, they introduced, 3 more brands. Llama. What the fuck? Not Mondo Llama. If anyone gets that right in the comments. And Kindful. What is it with Target with these like brands that sound like they were made for like a school project? No, just Target of it, but 2-1 again. It's another year of Target partnering with other brands like they have in the past, which that year include Ulta Beauty, Apple, and Levi, which I don't even know how to pronounce this. Strauss and
Yes, that's it.
So as of me telling you this, I think I think I hmm, I think I have an idea of what Target Forward is.
Oh yeah, well, I want to go back to that.
Let's see. Target does take to their vision is to co-create an equitable and regenerative the holistic of sustainability with efforts focused on our business driving positive impact on both people and both people and planet. We see sustainability efforts as part of an interconnected system where our actions to help address climate, restore natural systems, drive opportunity and equity for our teams, communities, and partners, impact and reinforce one another to create a change that's good for all. They're really helping us out here. Here's the last thing that, at least the last it did last year, really, when they introduced the drive up with Starbucks, as if drive up
Oh,
for, as if it wasn't enough for the standalone locations. Yep. Which, too bad we don't have the. Oh yeah, I like Starbucks, but yeah, I do like seeing the old Target Cafe and the Pizza Hut. So there's other retailers, which
oh,
list of other retail chains, which one of them will be mentioned later on. We have our Amazon, the Kroger company, which includes Kroger, Ralph's, and other supermarket chains. Costco Wholesale, Walmart, the Home Depot, what I just talked about earlier, Target, CVS Health.
which you also kind of mentioned.
Yes, definitely. Lowe's Companies Incorporated. And Best Buy, which is
Which
a
you
mega
also
store.
kind of said something too.
Yeah. Which is a mega store, which, hey, good for them for still surviving.
Oh, mega. Right.
Yeah, I think we do need mega stores. So yep, that was Target facts. Which
Yeah.
you shop to Target.
Yeah, you're most.
I mean, ironically, no. I am. If I were to go, if I had my license, if I had a place that I'd rather go between the two stores, I would pick Target.
Yeah.
But
I'm curious, which is the other one that
it's what
I guess,
it's what
is
you
it something I could answer?
think it's what you're gonna be mentioning anyways. But I'm gonna say it anyways.
Oh,
Walmart.
Walmart.
Arcade.
Oh, you actually
Yeah.
seems like the breeding place of every disease known to man.
Yep.
I just, mm,
Yeah. Target cares more about health than they do, but no attack on them because I grocery shop there.
actually, I say that in literally a part of my day today, like an hour ago or something. Oh, actually, more than an hour ago is so at I went plogging, right? I was just like picking up like cans and bottles, right? That just might be laying about. I went in the porta potties that are there, and lo and behold, there were some cans that were pristine. So I picked up some porta potty cans and bottles. So I say that about the Walmart arcade, but you know what? It's probably a little bit cleaner than the porta potties were.
I would probably say so because yeah, I mean a porta potty is like it's gonna stink.
Oh God, I wasn't even in heck. I just held my breath whenever I was getting them.
Mm. So, do you have art that you want to mention?
I think I have a few things about Walmart. Maybe just a few.
Just a few. All right.
Hey, it's a few in my standard, right?
Yeah.
This is like nothing, man. I feel, I mean, yeah, but I feel like the Elena. I feel like the Elena while you're the Ash.
Mm.
You do not get that reference. It nowhere is. It's from Morbid Podcast. It's like a true crime, like documentary sort of podcast. The two Massachusetts girls are I say girls, they're both older than us, but
Mhm.
but yeah, those two do their stuff,
Ladies.
and it's pretty much it kind of feels like they're inviting us to the show sort of thing, right? Like
Mhm.
it feels like the listener is, in the same room. It's not like just a boring like lecture thing. And that's kind of something that I want like our podcast to kind of feel like. Like someone could just join in and kind of feel like they're with a bunch of pals or something, right?
Once that was something. That's something we need. That will be probably like another follow up for like the future of our channel. Maybe we could
Oh, I
set up a
mean,
little studio and they have a camera and then have mics.
are you saying maybe we do something like at a convention where people just come up to the stage or something with their questions?
I don't
And
know.
like I don't know, like 7-year-old Billy is like struggling to reach the microphone, but he finally gets there and is like, if if you were an ice cream flavor, what do you think it would be? Right.
That's a good question.
The great question. Oh, what'd you say your name was? Billy. Okay. Um. Uh. Donald, do you think you'll take this? You don't have to.
Yeah.
It's just a big old tangent that could either be left in or left out. Doesn't matter.
So what do you guys say for Walmart?
What I got to say for Walmart. Okay. I'm gonna say this before I actually get started. I kind of did this like the 4th of July one, right? What, 3 episodes ago or something like that, right?
Probably.
So I pretty much kind of organized things in, I guess, sections, right? Um, I didn't just put all the facts out in one paragraph like you did with Target, but what I did was I kind of put all of the, I don't know, area or the history stuff is kind of listed in the same sort of area. There might be some overlap here and there, but it's more or less organized. Hey, I didn't, I didn't right.
Hmm.
All right. I'll take it away with the section I have, history of Walmart. Walmart was founded by Sam Walton. Walton, makes sense, in
Yeah.
1962 in Rogers, Arkansas, of the United States. The
Sam.
first one,
Yeah.
so pretty much kind of the same time as your Target, if you remember. Yeah, yours was probably like 2 years before that or something, right?
Well,
Yours was like in the 60s, and mine was also, well, in the 60s.
actually they opened the same year, but not the
Same year, oh, right, because it was okay, right. The first Walmart store was opened in July 2nd, 1962.
2 months and one day after Target.
I do think it was in response to Target, no.
Man. But
It could have been, I mean, like within I don't know, 2 days or so.
mm, all right, so do you get?
By 1970, Walmart had expanded to 38 stores with sales reaching to 44 million
That's a lot of dough.
dollaroonies. And remember, this was before inflation, so that's
Mm,
probably equivalent to freaking 50
that,
billion now, right?
mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like inflation's doing, right? 44 million 30 years ago, and now it's 50 billion.
Likely so.
But yeah, Walmart has actually, from that point, grown, grown a lot. So with the Walmart, we have Walmart going public and trading on the New York Stock Exchange. In 1983, Walmart reached 1 billion in annual sales. So literally just 10 years being open and whopping 1 billion, right? Becoming the fastest company at the time. In 1988, Walmart surpassed Kmart to become the largest retailer in the United States, and it still hasn't hit 2000. That's
Crazy.
big, big,
Yeah,
big moot in the world.
it's gonna be a big stinger for the Kmart people.
Surely. Because Kmart was probably a thing like, years before they were a thing, but whoops, I guess Walmart's the new king in the block.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so I wanted to mention this a little bit earlier. Like Dom, you kind of did things chronologically. I just have things in sections. One of my sections I wanted to mention was a certain event
Kind of
that happened in 2020.
like which we kind of talked a lot about in the movie episode, so we probably don't have to repeat everything, but just the ones that relate to Walmart.
The 2020 pandemonium, right? Walmart sales during Walmart sales and impact during the um, the COVID 420 pandemic 2020. I'm cryptic with it. Yeah. The COVID, never mind. COVID. I'm just gonna say it. The COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 led to a surge in demand for essential items. You know, toilet paper.
Yeah, there's people that like hoarded that.
Why can't I have my 20 packs of frickin' Charmin Ultra Strong?
Damn it, why not? Why can't I get Bounty?
Why can't I get my share? You have to have all of it? Yes, I have to.
I want it now!
What's that gonna do? If the world shuts down, you really think that you need paper
Like, who
like
cares?
that long? I mean, yes, it might sound nasty, but you could do the thing that some nations in Africa do. Just use your left hand.
Yeah, and hopefully find stuff.
And you get water to wash it off. Okay, disgusting poopies aside, the pandemic in 2020 led to essential items, and Walmart experienced increased sales during this period. A lot of sales because they actually were able to ship things home. In the first quarter of 2020, Walmart reported a 10% increase in sales compared to the same period in 2019. Just a difference of 1 year was enough for 10% of growth. For Walmart, that's a lot, with e-commerce sales growing by 74%. Woo. Like I was saying, at Walmart also surged, and the company expanded its contactless pickup and delivery services.
Oh, yep,
Yeah, it wasn't just a Walmart thing. Like I'm pretty sure like every single, I shouldn't say every,
fast
but
food when you
a
order
lot of
things.
stores did that, right?
Yeah,
I
like
mean, it was almost like it was kind of freaky if you didn't, right? It's kind of stupid if you didn't.
it would be pretty much.
Imagine being the one store that was like, we're not delivering stuff to you, right? Like that'd be like, oh well, I'm not shopping, so I guess I'm not going to you then.
Get up on your 2 feet.
Hey, that statement that you just said right now could be labeled as that's right. Walmart has had some controversies associated with it.
We started noticing this in the past 10 years at this point.
Something that we actually said a little bit before, a certain five-letter name that starts with K and ends in Aaron. Um,
Yeah,
oh, 5 letters, so it can't be like Kazakarin, right?
Zacharin.
Kazakarin. All right.
Yeah, I get it.
Walmart has faced criticism for its labor practices, including low wages and resistance to unionism. I cannot say that word. Union. Union.
Unionization.
Fucking hell, man. The company has been accused of sourcing products from overseas factories with poor working conditions. Yeah, don't really want to shop at a place that treats anybody like poo, huh?
I've Oh yeah, I think we knew from high Walmart is not even a great place to work at, and a lot of the employees even hate it.
Oh God, you could tell.
Like even I even
Unfortunately, this nation, and actually not this nation, pretty much a lot of the world is built on a capitalistic economy. You just apparently you need this green or
Oh,
these numbers rise for whatever reason. You need this to live. It's a thing that can be traded for pretty much anything.
like a job is a job, so like Walmart's a good starting point though. To if we
There,
want to look at it from that view.
there are definitely another episode with whether or not we agree with how the world or the name or however we want to spin it, but how the things are set up, right? Because because if I started now, we wouldn't for our discussion. We'll just be talking about economy and government and whatever. But that could be saved for another episode if we remember, if we jot it down. But um, some reason some reason we have to do this money thing.
So what do we got here next?
Walmart has been involved in legal disputes related to discrimination and workplace violations. The retail giant has been criticized for its impact on small businesses, often accused of driving them out of business in some communities. Like your local mom and pop shops. How many candy stores do you see? Straight up candy stores that are owned by like two old people, right?
Like what? There's a I and it was like
Right.
as far as I know, it looked like it was like a mom and pop one.
Last time I went to Cape Cod, Massachusetts, right? Last time I went there, I believe I saw a candy store. I believe we went inside it, right? Um, I think one of its big main selling points was homemade fudge, so they got a lot of people in for
Ooh.
just that. But they were a candy store, like more than anything else, and that was like 10 years ago, right? Like that was a long time ago.
And
Um,
yeah, speaking of like, yeah, if anyone's wondering where, yeah, there was that candy store. It was in Maine, and this was only 2 years ago when I saw the candy store.
oh, neat. So yours was a little bit more recent than mine. Okay.
And I mean, they packed the candy in store, even though they didn't make it in there.
So it's like they poured like all of the red M&Ms in one container, and then they're like, "Okay, here you go. Let's pack it
Or
for you."
here's your Lucky Charms marshmallows. Here you go.
Uh, that's very famous,
Yep, kind of the reputation Walmart has now.
and that is unruly custom. Let's
Dress
just call it
code.
what it is: dress code issues.
Literally, yeah, I think within the past, Walmart has been developing this reputation. These customers,
Right. If they're not genuinely unruly bad people or cranky people, I should say, they might not be bad. They just might have a bad day. Um, but some of them are actually bad. But I do have unruly customers. But if they aren't unruly, then they're just weirdly.
or like, oh,
And you
been
know
wearing.
that? Those are the best.
I've seen people wear pajamas at Walmart. You don't see that at Target, really.
You probably do, but like not as much.
I probably do, but not as much. But just not.
Right. Customers and dress code issues. Walmart has seen several instances of unruly behavior from customers, leading to viral videos and public attention. There are two names that tend to coincide with this. One would be the more masculine version, and one would be the more feminine version. Pop quiz Dom, what are the two names?
One of them's Karen,
That's the feminine one, yep.
and I think this was a long time. I would call a male Karen Eugene.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. The one that Kevin.
Kevin.
But you know what? It's the same sort of idea.
So this was like what 2016 era, Gene.
I mean, I've always heard Kevin, but
Yeah,
but
you
I
want
but I
Kevin
don't
at
know.
Starbucks.
Yeah, we have two Kevin.
Yep. Yep. They wanted their iced latte cream and sugar. They didn't want it all black.
No, the worst ones. They're like, can I get a cappuccino without the milk, without the sugar, without the flavors? So you want a black coffee? No, I want a cappuccino without the.
Yep. Had that.
It's like that's freaking black coffee. It's like, you know what? My bad. Here, I'll ring you up
He's
for a
here.
cappuccino. I'll ring you up for a cappuccino, which is probably more expensive than just black coffee, right? Oh, you said you wanted a cappuccino without these things. I'll give it to you. You
Mm-hmm.
just have to pay more.
You were talking about before I want a cappuccino with no cream, no milk. No, that's like, you just want a black coffee? It's like, no, I want a cappuccino.
Yeah, so like Big Mac sauce without ketchup, without cheese, without pickles, without onions, without mustard, and without the bun. So you want
You just want a
a
hamburger
beef pat-
patty?
you just want a beef patty? No,
I want a
I
Big
want
Mac. All right, here's your patty for the price of a Big Mac. Have a good day.
sure. And it's like this is what you ordered. You know what? Cops shouldn't be the only thing, the only people with cameras on them at all times. I think like retail workers should have cameras on them just so that they can upload the stupid people right away.
Yeah, no. I mean, hey, or you can gather the security camera footage and just upload it, but you might want consent first.
The security cam is probably a little bit worse quality, so you should really just be wearing cameras on you. And it's like there's nothing wrong with a business who, as long as they have a sign on the window or like a way that they notify the customers, oh, our employees have the cameras on at all times. That there's nothing wrong with that. They just have to know that there is a chance you're being recorded, right? I mean, yeah, you already have those signs that say "Smile, you're on camera" whenever there's like a security camera in the corner. But like, imagine if there are cameras, just body cams from the cashier and from the cook and from the whatever,
Yeah,
just away.
there you go. So,
And it actually helps. You see, like all the time, like the police department might be like posting on social media saying, "We need help. I like IDing this person. Who do you think this is? Does this look like anybody?" And the CCTV footage is crap. It's like 2 pixels of screen, right?
hmm
So if everybody wore body cam, you got instant flash of this is the person right here.
hmm.
X. Wait a
Let's
minute.
do it.
No, I didn't even say this. I wasn't even finished. Some of the Walmart stores have faced issues with customers not following social norms, like wearing inappropriate or unconventional attire. You already said pajamas before. There's some people who pretty much wear what they shouldn't wear. I'll say that.
Like any other store, but I mean Walmart, like all the other stores, there's no exceptions.
You,
There's
you ever see a loaf of bread baking in the oven, but then it overflows, right? So a little bit of the bread is over the pan. Sometimes that happens,
hmm Yep,
but in human form.
pretty
Uh,
much.
Sometimes people might be in their bathing suits while just shopping, right?
Yeah, maybe that's not something that you would want to wear just casually.
And
There's already
then
a place to wear bathing suits.
and then I feel like Walmart's probably the place that the most people take their shirts off in, whether it's for a fight or whether they just want their shirt off.
And yep, that's where the reputation comes from.
Yep. Now let's
Okay.
move on. Now let's move on to the fun facts about Walmart. I'm gonna
Okay.
kind of rapid.
Good.
I'm gonna kind of rapid fire. Uh, it save your, or I guess the end of this. The companies for sold products for 5 and 10 cents. If only we had that this year. Walmart's official colors are blue and yellow, which are meant to symbolize excellence and friendliness. I almost doubt it, but okay. Walmart Walmart runs a wholesale establishment as well using the moniker Sam's Club. Imagine a Costco or a BJ's where they'll sell you things in bulk. There are currently 599 at the time of this recording. As of September 2021, Walmart operates in over 27 countries under various banners, including Asda in the UK and Seiyu in Japan.
5 and 10. If only there was a definition for that nowadays.
I mean, even the dollar store is over $1. Like, give
Five
give
below.
us give us nickel and dime places, man. Even if it's shit quality stuff, like just give people the option to scrounge up actual pocket change and have a can of soup if they want.
Or it's gonna be now beyond 5, just like a few cents over.
And nothing's five below.
Oh, not I. Oh, we already know why.
Like you're going to the Toyota dealership and they toy Yodas. It's like, what's wrong with
They do not like Star Wars. They don't.
Jeez. I'll take my business forward. Harrison Ford.
Oh yeah. I mean, I did talk about one of them, but do we have any more of Walmart's competitors?
We definitely do, Dom. Walmart faces direct competition from other retail giants like Amazon, Your Place, Target, and Costco in the United States. In the grocery sector, Walmart competes with supermarket chains such as Kroger, Albertsons, ShopRite, and Stop and Shop. Indirect competition comes from online, like maybe Etsy and stuff like that, specialty stores, and local businesses in the regions where Walmart operates. Let me tell you a little bit something about a logo, specifically the Walmart logo. The Walmart logo features his name written in bold uppercase letters with a yellow sunburst design at the end of the word Mart. The logo was designed in 1962, around the time of Walmart's founding. Similar situation to the Target one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it has remained minor few adjustments over the years.
Well,
They used to
yep.
go on.
I mean, we did have the uppercase Walmart logo until the late 2000s when it was just the W that was uppercase.
Oh,
Yep. So back
blue and yellow in the logo symbolizes trust, reliability, and a friendly shopping experience. I call BS on that once again. I failed to remember that I put this into sections, but you know what? That's
but
just how much it means to me that I call BS on it.
well, I mean that's what it's supposed to symbolize. It doesn't mean there is.
The use of blue actually stands for the sweat that their underpaid workers have to go through.
Or the
And then the
sunburst.
yellow stands for the the urine that the customers pee on every aisle.
The yellow
Yeah.
sunburst. Yeah.
Yes, the design represents a spark of inspiration and is meant to catch the attention of customers. I'm going to be honest, I forgot that there was even a yellow sunburst in the logo, so apparently I don't get that attention caught.
Mm-hmm. So, like, view based on our, not necessarily our experience, but based on people's experiences online. So, I'll put it, read the disclaimer in the description. So,
All right, Walmart US and US loves their culture and movies and shows and whatevers.
mm-hmm.
So, assume that Walmart has been in culture in
And
the years, referenced in various films, TV shows, music,
yeah,
reflecting culture and society. The documentary film Walmart, The High Cost of Low Price from 2005 criticized the company's business practices and their impact on communities. We got the TV show Superstore from 2015 to 2021. Well, I thought that was a little bit shorter.
honestly, I don't even, I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never actually like watched it in full. I thought it was. Plus, I thought it was a newer.
Yeah, my mom recorded it, a lot of it until like 2020, pretty much. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't see like all of it, but like most of it. Anyway, that store depicted a fictional big box Cloud9, which is inspired by Walmart, and explored the lives of its employees and possibly customers too. All right, this one, your comedy film, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, 2006. A fictional Walmart story shown in a humorous scene where the main character shops while intoxicated.
Ooh, yeah, Talladega Nights. That was a good movie.
Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes movie back in action. The crew head in the middle of nowhere and upon a Walmart. There are Walmarts everywhere, even where there's nothing else.
That's shocking.
Songs have referenced lyrics either as a setting or a symbol of consumerism and a modern life.
All right.
Wrapping up the Walmart section, I painstakingly counted on the website, which fortunately didn't give me the number that's copy and paste. I had to put it in a calculator because I was losing track everywhere. But anyway, in Alabama there are 9, in Alaska there are 131, Arizona 120, Arkansas 112, California 280, Colorado 88, Connecticut 33, Delaware only 3, Florida 341, woo, Georgia 189, Hawaii 10, Idaho 60, Illinois 26, Indiana 192, Iowa 14, Kansas 42, Kentucky 26, Louisiana Louisiana 62, Maine 40, Maryland 43, Massachusetts 90, Michigan 146, Minnesota 122, Mississippi 33, Montana 9, Nebraska 161, Nevada 113, New Hampshire 74, New Jersey 93, New Mexico 116, New York 48, North Carolina 48, North Dakota 22, Ohio 94, Oklahoma 68, Oregon 137, Pennsylvania 78, Rhode Island 14, South Carolina 110, South Dakota 15, Tennessee 137, Texas reigning champion at 517, Utah 53, Vermont with 134, Virginia with, I can't read anymore, 6, and that's the state, not the district, with 66. You got West Virginia, Mountain Mamas with 89. You got Wisconsin at 39, and Wyoming with 12. Add them all up, and Walmart has a total of not 300, 3,422 as of this recording in all of the 50 states.
Yeah, Delaware only has 3. Man,
rides that don't have sales tax.
I see.
So I don't think Walmart would do the fact that they tax their things. But if you can't do it, then oh, I guess the dollar chips are actually $1. Yay!
Woo. So yeah. So like I mentioned at the beginning, we all got a lot of these stores down, and like well, I mean, they did kind of come back, and now they're integrated in Macy's. Kind of like how
I did not know that.
it's like, go be a Toys R Us kid.
Toys R Us kids are now Macy's adults, right?
Yep, pretty much. Except I'm not going to shop for Transformers.
Um, I think my shopping trip is done. So, I don't know. Take it away.
Attention, all DJ podcast listener. Closing our doors in 30 seconds. Please bring all your final picks to Register Dom, that's me, to be checked out. Thank you for shopping with us, and remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and have a great day. And thank you for shopping at the DJ